Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from 9 group. Here we will deliver the material about what ads don't say what they mean. In this group consists of me, Ayu SOFIAH RACHMAN, as editor and presenter, and my friend LUSIANA as presenter. The first material will be delivered by me. Before we start, let me show you guys an example of ads. Let's watch carefully. The video. So what do you think about the video? Yeah, in that ads there is no dialogue, and perhaps we as hearers have different meaning from the ads, so that's why words don't mean what people think mean. Look at the picture. Yeah, when language is used in real life, hearers do read between the lines, but in the most cases, they read exactly what the speaker intended them to read. To say that words can mean different things to different people, even in the same context, is to confuse a couple of important issues. Many words do in fact have multiple meanings, and the intent of communicator is not always obvious to the receiver. This is especially true in written form, where emphasis and tone are much harder to communicate. So what would the speaker do? Here, there are 4 commandments of conversation according to Greece. The first is maxim of quality, that is where one tries to be informative as one possible can, and give as much information as is needed and no more. And the next is maxim of quantity, where one tries to be truthful and doesn't give information that is false or that is not supported by evidence. And the next is maxim of relevant, where one tries to be relevant and says things that are pertinent of the discussion. And the last is maxim of manner, where one tries to be clear, as brief, as orderly as one can in what one says, and where one avoids obscurity and ambiguity. That's all from me. The next material will be delivered by LUSIANA.
The next slide is the search for relevance. You can read our PowerPoint, and I will give you one example of the search for relevance. The example is Mercedes-Benz Company. First of all, you have to understand the purpose of advertisement. Second, you have to notice the Mercedes-Benz logo. Now that is a company that makes cars. Third, you have to put the first two things together and infer that even though other car dealers are not trustworthy, this one is. Finally, you have to get when advertisements have a picture. They are related in some way to the text, and the overall purpose of the advertisement gets you to buy their stuff. Next slide is mind reading. Involved in understanding even the most basic forms of nonverbal communication. In the Wired magazine's advertisement, reading the mind through brain imaging suggests that science has surpassed science fiction, in that there is an object, there is an objective, interpretable correlation between anatomy, physiology, and thought. Through the technologies of brain imaging, the advertisement claims we finally visualize not only brain but the mind itself. You cannot tell the truth deceptively. To tell the truth deceptively only has real impact if enough of the advertising industry actually obeys the law. In the end, the real constraint in deceptive advertising probably come from the consumer's own sense of outrage. Congress gave the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, the power of enforce the appropriate law, which says 1. An advertisement must be truthful and not deceptive, that is, not for consumer. 2. Advertiser must have a proof for anything they claim in an advertisement. And last, advertisement cannot be unfair. Next is the fundamental rules for advertising. Anyone who writes or produces an advertisement has to follow some very basic rules. They have to 1. Tell the truth. Advertisers cannot mislead consumers about the benefits of what they are selling. 2. Tell the whole truth. Advertisers cannot leave out information to create the impression that the claims are true, if including the missing information would make the claim false. And the last is have evidence that the claim is true. Next, why not just say what you mean? At some level, you do have to accept that you're just as capable of smoothie thoughts as the guy who made the remark, and advertisers can pretend that they did not just tell you what to do or what to think. You arrive at that conclusion yourself. Why advertisements don't say what they mean or mean what they say? 1. The reason is 1. Advertisement should be interesting, not direct by use the simple word or even strange words and strange picture. 2. The advertiser should minimize the risks from their advertisement. 3. It's harder to prove the deceptiveness of implied meaning that directly state ones. And the last is using implication change the psychological orientation of the consumer to the advertisement in a fairly deep way. Maybe enough for me. Thank you.
That's all from us. If there is question, you can give us a comment below. And thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.